Yo, what's up with y'all, bro? It's Cam. I'm back with another little video for y'all, for all the clothing brand owners, all the up-and-coming clothing brand owners that need help. This video is for y'all, bro. You know, if you're starting a clothing brand or thinking about it, this video might save you months, of wasted time, wasted money. I've been through it myself, and I'm here to give you the exact steps, mindset, and tips that I wish someone gave me when I first started my brand. So, yeah, bro, let's get right into this shit. All right, y'all. So first things first, you need to understand is that your brand, your logo, it's more than just a logo. It's something that your audience is going to be able to connect with. It's going to be something that, it's going to be the message you give out, the vibe that people get when they look at your brand. So, don't rush your logo. That's first things first, y'all. You got to ask yourself some questions, bro. Some questions you can ask yourself to, really understand what you're trying to do with your brand. Ask yourself what you stand for, what problem, you're trying to solve, who exactly, you're making these clothes for. All this stuff is just going to give you an overall understanding and, a gathering of thoughts of, what you're trying to do, what message you're trying to put out, who you're trying to sell these clothes to, and just all those things, bro. They're really, really important. I didn't really think about these things when I first started my brand, so think about those, bro. Ask yourself those questions I just told you, gang. Another tip I could give you while you're doing this, bro, is don't try to please everyone else, bro. Find your people, talk to them, relate with them, and you'll be good, bro. All right, y'all, so we're gonna go ahead and talk about the mistake that most brands make. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've made them too. So here's a quick little list that I have down of what you could avoid. So number one, bro, is spending all your money on inventory with no audience. This is just gonna, waste your money. I recently had someone, in my mentorship that, was asking me why he wasn't selling out his drop, why he wasn't getting the numbers he wanted, bro. And I looked at his Instagram and he only had 100 followers, gang. So he had bought, he had dropped some shirts. I think he bought 20 to 30 shirts with 100 followers, was wondering why they wouldn't sell. And I told him, bro, like mathematically speaking, out of 100 people, you only have a chance of 2 of those people converting. So there's your answer right there, bro. Build an audience first. Like I said, relate to them, let them understand you're here to stay, and that's how you could make more numbers and not lose money. So that's a mistake people make. And another mistake people make is not building hype before they launch their drop. So some people will just post a t-shirt and say, here, I'm dropping this, or the day, they don't even plan anything. They'll just go ahead and get their bulk order and drop it that same day. I could tell y'all that content is everything, bro. So before you drop, you could look up marketing strategies, best ways to sell it to drop. But what I would personally do, take about 2 to 3 weeks to hype up your drop. DM me if you want to get into my mentorship. I'll really teach you how to sell out every drop, and it's for cheap, bro. Invest in yourself, gang. Another common mistake people made, including myself, that don't really harm you nothing, but it'll fuck you up mentally, bro. You won't get the numbers you want because of this, and it could make you feel like you're behind or off track or some shit. So this is just thinking your first drop will blow just because you like it. So this right here was my first drop I made. Let me go ahead and show y'all. It was just some calm shit, design right here with my logo on the back, some calm hoodie, you know what I mean? So I thought I was gonna drop this product, and I thought it was gonna sell out like crazy. So this is not the case, bro. Just because you like your stuff doesn't mean everyone else is gonna like it. It does mean, there is some people out there that are gonna like it, but if you're a brand new, fresh out the box brand that no one has ever seen, it's gonna be a little hard for them to trust you, you know what I mean? So don't get down on yourself just because your first item didn't sell out, you know what I mean? So yeah. All right, bro, this is a big one. Don't just copy other brands without understanding their why. So, a lot of big brands that people like to copy have a reason behind their designs. They have a reason why they're dropping their clothes. Don't go and look at their designs and copy them just because it looks cool. It could not relate to the brand you have. It could not relate to the message you have. It could not relate to the customers you have. If you're ever gonna copy another brand, look at what they do that's working and change it up into your own little thing for your brand. Make it creative, bro. Don't just go copy, slap it on your thing and think it's gonna sell, because why would someone shop from you if they could go shop from that brand? You know what I mean? It just don't do that, bro. And another thing, bro, is most clothing brands fail within the first year because they focus on sales and not storytelling. I used to be a victim of this, bro, and until I started to really focus on storytelling and the meaning behind my brand, then it started to, go crazy and get those sales and really get a community behind my brand. I'll show the numbers of my last drop right here. We had made $8,000 in my drop. I had made $3,000 in a week. I had made $1,000 in a day. And this is just because I really took the time to understand what really goes on in the back end of the brand game to, get these numbers, bro. It's not just, get a hoodie or something and slap a design on it and think it's gonna sell out, bro. You could have the best product and everything like that, and if you don't have a story or no marketing behind it, who's gonna buy it, bro? You know what I mean? So yeah. Alright, y'all, this next little list I got down for y'all is content is king, bro. Like, I promise you, content is gonna get you farther than you ever think, bro. So, if no one sees your brand, it does not matter how fire your pieces are, gang. If, you should be posting 3 to 5 times a day across, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts, not just random stuff either. I got a little list for y'all, what's working right now, what's working best for me and, other big brand owners. So I'll go ahead and give y'all that list right now, bro. So the first thing, for content that's gonna help you, engage with your community, build a little community behind your brand is gonna be to document your journey. What I mean by documenting your journey, bro, is do behind the scenes of you designing your drops, do, your losses that you take, from the bad drops to the wins that you make to the good drops, all the way to behind the scenes of you and your friends taking pictures. This is just gonna make your audience know you're here to stay, bro. You know what I mean? If you're showing them your losses and not only your wins, that's gonna make them, feel like, okay, he's really, trying to show us what he's going through to make this brand what he wants it to be, which is gonna make him, appreciate you more. It's gonna make him, wanna be a part of the journey, bro. That's a key factor, bro. A little mini challenge that you can do for yourself is, try posting every day for 30 days straight and watch what happens, bro. It's like night and day once you take the content part really serious. All right, bro, on to the part of the next list I got for you guys, and it's called early stage strategy. So this is pretty much just little strategies you can do in the early parts that you've had your brand that will, help you out. So if you got less than 500 followers, don't be focusing on the sales or the numbers. What you should be focusing on is the value, the visibility, and the vibe behind your brand. Those are the 3 key factors: the value, visibility, and the vibe. All right. And this is just to really, like I've been saying, bro, build a community around your brand, get people to trust you and understand that you're here to stay, bro. So week 1 to 2, post 3 times a day, tease your designs, tell a story, all that good stuff. Week 3, show samples, build hype, open pre-orders, all that stuff. And week 4, launch and drop with urgency, bro. You want to drop letting people know you've got limited stock, 24-hour drop, stuff like this, just to build a demand, make people want to buy quick, make sure they don't miss it. Even if, you don't have limited stock, bro, even if, you're not close to selling out, tell them you're close to selling out, bro. It builds urgency, it builds hype, it builds demand, which is a key factor your brand needs to, hit consistent numbers every month, bro. A tip I can say, bro, is, get a high converting SMS list or email list so people will enter their number for a discount or early access, or give them something that's worth it for them to enter their phone number. You know what I mean? This is just gonna make it easy for you to reach out to the people that took the time out of their day to go to your site and, enter their phone number. This just shows that they're interested. So if you can, collect people's phone numbers, that shows you're doing something right, gang. But, you want to make sure you launch that, that SMS list or something like that so you could reach out to your customers when you drop. Okay, y'all, so this is the last part of the list I got for y'all. It's just a little final advice and motivation. So let's get right into this shit. Listen if you're doing this for real, all right? You got to listen to what I'm saying if you're doing this for real. You know what I mean? So you're going to have days where you doubt yourself, gang. You're going to have days where you don't feel like doing it no more, but don't quit, all right? After a few bad videos or, slow weeks, don't quit, gang. Most brands take 6 to 12 months just to start seeing traction, bro. Just to start seeing a couple, just to start getting the ball rolling, it'll take them half a year to a year. And that's honestly what happened to me, bro. I've had my brand for a year, and the month before I had it for a year is the month I had my first little $1,000 day, the little traction that I've been needing, bro. It takes a minute, bro, so don't give up. Enjoy the process. Try to take in as much as you can, learn as much as you can, and you'll see, bro. Like, even right now, gang, I could be making this video and it could flop like a lot of other videos on my YouTube, but I'm still doing it, bro. I'm still coming in front of the camera. I'm still doing what I want to do. And the beginning stages are what really is going to test you to see how bad you want it, gang. So don't give up. You know, if you're still watching, I got love for you. Like, genuinely, if you're still watching this video, this is 10 minutes in. I have love for you, bro. I believe in you, gang. You know, you're serious about this if you're watching this video fully through. Most people tap out. Most people have the TikTok brain and will click out this video. But if you're watching it to this point, you're serious, bro. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep learning, and you'll see the results, bro. So here's what I'll do for y'all, since you watched to this point. Drop a comment with your brand name or Instagram. I'll check it out, and I might even shout it out in the next video. But drop your name, drop your brand Instagram, and I'm gonna help you out as much as possible, gang. I'm gonna pick 3 people to help out. But y'all, you gotta understand that this is bigger than clothes, bro. You're building something that could possibly change your whole life, gang. So take it serious. Take it like more serious than anything you've ever taken serious, bro. Because if you really take the brand game and all this seriously, it's a business that could genuinely change your life, bro. So take it seriously, gang. That's probably gonna be it, though. I feel like this video had a lot of good game in it, a lot of good things that could help all the up and coming brand owners. So yeah, bro, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you're serious about growing your brand. If you have a homie that's barely starting a brand, share it with them. I'm dropping new videos every week to help up and coming brands win. So stay focused, stay consistent, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Yours truly.